Today on Toy DOMination, we are talking about part 2 of the Batman animated series action figure line.
Domination.
I am Dom Al Ghul, and I'm joined today by
Joker.
Joker. Hey, if you haven't already seen part 1, go ahead and go over there and check it out right now. It's got all the heroes in here. Today we're following with some villains. Joe, what you got?
We're gonna bring it in with old Hardak, because that's how we ended the hero section. I love Hardak.
Why?
I don't know. It's like this weird AI Terminator situation with Batman, and he genuinely thought he was Batman, and like him slowly realizing that he was a robot was fantastic. I mean, he comes with like a full-on Batman head, and then he comes with another Batman head that has the red eyes, so like evil robot version of Batman. But then he also has this disgusting skin sack face. And
floppy Batman flesh.
He's even got this weird like flipped up finger to plug into the Batcave. That's such a good figure. I love him so much. Yeah, I have him in the Batcave all the time, because he was in the Batcave when he like kind of figured out that he was a robot. It was like Batman figuring out he was a robot in the Batcave. It's fantastic. Anyway,
and every time you say Hardak, I imagine the giant silver chrome, almost obelisk with the
red eye thing.
Yeah,
so he was making. So the original Hardak episode was him making doubles, and then the sequel to the Hardak episode was the realization that they had made a double of Batman.
Yeah,
and that had been like somehow boxed up and then like put into storage and like woke up later on, kind of thing, which is kind of amazing. I mean, you can kind of see it just with the array that I have there, but like I pick and choose sort of which version I want.
So what you're talking about with the newer version here is the new animation styles that they use to design the figures, right?
The old animation style. And nothing sums that up better, I think, than Catwoman, and probably Mr. Freeze would be the best example. But I don't have the old Mr. Freeze. So just focusing on Catwoman here, night and day, these characters, you know, and I love the original Catwoman, and I did eventually get the new Catwoman. I'm not sure why.
Because actually, the old Catwoman is so bland and weird with those half sleeves. Like I can't stand that costume design. I don't love the new one either, but I always thought that one was so blasé.
They're not half sleeves; they're long gloves.
Oh, anyway. Okay. What every modern lady has lying around the house. Yeah, the character's fine. The costume is boring, and the new one, I only like it more.
But the new one is just crazy.
Like it's crazy. It looks like a 1940s cartoon.
Yeah, it's like the giant bug eyes, like the weird pale skin, like I don't like, and with a lot of the redesigns, the newer versions of the characters, I love them. And but with Catwoman, I'm like, wow, that's like night and day.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
It's so opposite. Selena for me mattered more in the older version, so like I think that's why I have an affinity for the classic gray and black costume. I do love the redesign though, and she kind of had a few episodes that like she was kind of like playing the hero and villain role at the same time. So I actually have her, the newer version, in the Batcave with like Nightwing and Batman and Robin, and
when she was more of an anti-hero than a villain.
Sure, yeah.
That's your only one that you got two versions of? Is that what you said? Well, let's jump into possibly one of the greatest DC villains ever, and he's standing front and center there in his resplendent purple, the Joker.
The Joker.
So and that is
one where I loved the redesign. And the all black eyes just made him so much scarier. And there is one, and I mentioned this in the hero video, but I have the Batman that has the multiple faces. It's called the Expressions Pack, and they have like tons of heads. They made one of Joker like that, of the old school version, and you know, I haven't bought them, but I probably will eventually buy that one. The black eyes for me, for some reason, a lot of people don't like it, but for me, I'm just like, perfect, nailed it.
Whereas we just saw an extreme version of Catwoman with the very whitewashed face and the huge eyes, which looked like something straight out of a horrific 1940s Mickey Mouse cartoon. And we thought that was too extreme. This could equally be as extreme with the black eyes.
Agreed.
But
and yet for some reason it works.
It's the Joker.
He loves to fall over. So that was one of the things we kind of touched on in the last video. But man, if there's figures that have weak ankles and horrible balance, It's the villains, man.
Well,
they're all made all over the place. I can barely stand them up right now.
They're all made like triangles. Look at every single one of them. They're all triangle shaped, like they're tiptoes and then diamond shoulders.
I mean, like Bane in the background there,
yes,
Clayface,
all of them.
Killer Croc. They're gigantic up top, and they have tiny, tiny, tiny ankles.
I thought I did fine describing it as a triangle. Like that's exactly what they are. There he goes
again. just stay on the ground. Dude. You can't talk about Joker without Harley Quinn, I think.
Yeah, who made her debut in the cartoon. So I don't really know that she changed between the two styles.
She didn't, although this is technically the new version.
Yeah.
So this for me was fine. Also, she came with the jackals, so that was amazing.
My babies.
One of them's got the grinning that open.
Yeah.
The other one doesn't. I mean, they're fantastic. They're such great like accessories that comes with all these, man. Like so good. Like every single one of them comes with so much stuff. Clayface, for instance, accessories out just crazy amount. Like he has a giant head where his mouth is open like 2 feet taller than he already is right now.
Wow.
Like it's crazy. And then like and just comes with all the add-ons for his body. Like he comes with like a mace hand. I should have pulled out some more of the accessories for this, but
you should have. So it's funny. I have 3 versions of Clayface. I didn't know about him except for the animated series. So that's the only attachment I have to that character. My boys had the Imaginex where he's like kind of rubbery and he can swap off the rubbery hands. And I just bought the McFarlane one where he's gigantic. And then you actually gave one to Tristan a long time ago.
Yeah, DC Universe Classics.
And he's got the very soft texture all over too. And for a long time, we called him Poop Monster. But that
he's a poop monster.
Understanding that I have 3 of those, I want that one too.
Oh man, dude, he comes with like a ball and chain hand. Amazing accessories. So his arms, his whole forearm will pop off. Like this whole piece
wow, that's so
will
cool.
pop off and be like, and you can interchange it. Again, I think the most impressive thing about Clayface is the head pops off and you can get like just this crazy open face
devourer face. Some toy lines have like your average bucks, and then was this a bigger buck or was this the same kind of price point?
No, I mean honestly, that's the best part about this toy line. Bane was like the same price as like a regular figure kind of thing.
That's funny because like Marvel Legends lines, like I just bought Ulik, for example, and he's he's like $10 higher, or like a Build-A-Figure, for example, because they're more pricey, they put the pieces in with other figures to let you get them without paying the extra. So that's pretty cool that a bigger figure like that was around the same price.
Yeah, this Bane in particular is the newer version. For some reason this was way more menacing, way more big, way like scarier to me.
I don't know. He went from luchador to gimp as far as I'm concerned.
He did, but I like all the black and I like the spikes and stuff. And and he gets this one has the size. Like the original Bane is like a much smaller Bane, but it's definitely going to be around the $50-$60 range probably.
I've got something to research the next time I go poop now. So
there you go.